and dumps Zushan's tea onto the cot, handing him the empty tin and flashing her gun.
Fill this with drinking water.
He takes the tin, and as he does, he picks up on her scent. Minerals, rocks. Rocks suit her, he thinks, a woman of this fortitude. He looks at her arms. Her skin is so smooth. She must be the kind of rock that's been polished by violent waves. She steps away from him. She's holding her breath. He must stink, he realizes. Ashamed, he slinks away to the outside, sniffs at his shirt, nothing. He's unable to smell his own scent. He hasn't had to regard himself much being alone. There was no cause to think of anything aside from survival and sand and whatever memories lapped against the shores of his mind. His other senses have sharpened out here. He hears the bubbles of fish. He feels minute shifts in the wind, all but for his sense of self. For that, he must have needed other people, like a blade needing a rock to sharpen itself against. Now there are two people, he thinks. Two. How sharp he could become. Jess pushes him out of the cargo container.
Hurry up! I'm thirsty.
His body as a shield, Zushan pulls the rubber tube off the desalination machine and buries it deep in the sand. He returns to Jess, empty-handed, a smirk on his face.
Where's my water?
I decided not to get you any.
She points the gun at him. He doesn't flinch.
If you shoot me, you'll never drink another drop.
Jess considers him and for a moment concedes that she may have met her match, but the moment passes. She shoves him aside, makes her way to the desalinator. Zushan doesn't try to stop her. He doesn't have to. He crosses his arms, sighs. He feels sorry for her. He really does, as she tinkers with the machine, swearing and kicking at the metal.
This piece of junk! How do you work it?
Give me your gun and I'll show you.
She smiles at him. He smiles back. They're adversaries now, but equals. Her eyes shrink to slits. She pulls off her shirt. Her red bra is too small. Her breasts nearly spill over the lace. She dips the shirt in seawater, then lays it over the tea tin. Slow drips ding the metal. Watching her, staring at her, Zushan feels his breath leave his body, feels his blood leave his brain for other places. He escapes into the cargo container where he paces, thinking of progressively uglier things.
Lucky's crooked teeth and his foul animal smell. The limbs of my cousins, aunts, and uncles sticking up through the avalanche snow.
When his blood has returned to his head, though tainted by those memories, poisoned, he returns to Jess, who is taking a sip of the water that is filtered through the cotton of her shirt, then spits it out.
Fuck!
The sun is showing hints of setting. Jess is too pretty for Zushan to look at in this light. Her glowing blonde hair, the icy blue of her eyes, her tanned skin, a hint of sunburn on her temples, her nose and cheeks. She reminds him so much of Sammy, too much. He could stare at her forever, but he looks away. He forces himself to and busies himself with gathering woody flotsam and piling it for a fire. He lights a match, then lights a whole matchbook. There are thousands of matches here. It's the one supply he's not worried about rationing. The fire roars into tall, conjuring flames, then dies down to a crackle. Jess is 20 feet away, but he feels her warmth as much as the fire's. The combination of her company, the night air, warm and fresh-scented, the pink-purple sunset, flying fish soaring over a bloom of jellies, contracting through the water, stirring the bioluminescence electric blue. This place nearly convinces him it's paradise. A motor revs, and they both look to the sea. The raft is puttering away with Ocampo on it, one hand waving to them, the other steering the motor as though his hands were never tied to begin with. Jess runs to the edge of the reef, but even if she dove in and swam as fast as her mother taught her, even if she latched onto the back of a speeding dolphin and rode the crest of a wave. She could not catch him. The raft is gone. She pulls at her hair. A handful comes out and she gasps at the sight. She falls on her knees and looks to the sky. Shan assumes she's praying, and that's because he does not know her at all.
Are you trying to sabotage me?
Me? Sabotage you? That was my raft!
She needs something to hurt, so she tries to put a dent in the cargo container with her fist. She howls at the pain. Her hands can't take much more abuse. Shan howls too.
I'm a dead man!
He cries as he rolls over into a mound of sand, digs down into it. He's interrupted the crab's slumber and they clip at his ankles for it, but he keeps digging until he hits the bony reef. He rolls into the hole like a grave, pulling the sand on top of him. The pain in Jess's hand centers her. Nothing's broken. The pain is temporary, just like this place. She made it this far, so she must be everything Grover Sachs said she is. Smart, capable. She can always find an answer, always find a way.
You're not a dead man.
She kneels next to Shan, his head peeking out of the sand. She has no plan yet. She's not ready, not for this. But she knows she needs to keep him on her side, to get him to trust her, so she can get him off this reef and out of the hot zone somehow.
You don't understand. Building the reef into an island is my only way home. If I work, if I prove myself, they'll come back for me. But without the raft, I can't continue to do that, and they'll leave me here to die.
Jess surveys the reef, the machines rusting in the sand and the hoses draped around like seaweed.
I don't understand why you can't keep working. You have another dredger.
It's not the dredger, it's the sand from the seafloor. I've already sucked up everything within reach of the reef.
Okay, so we go further out.
We need a raft for that.
No, we don't. We clamp a few hoses together, leave the dredger on the beach, and just swim the hose out.
I can't swim.
You can't swim? And they sent you here?
Shan cannot look at her. His pride is wounded. He's ashamed, and she worries she's lost him. She knows that the line between stoking and crushing a man's ego is perilously thin.
Come with me.
She pulls him from the sand and then grabs one end of the hose and tells Shan to grab the other. Together, they haul it into the water, walking it out until the depth reaches their shoulders. Jess swims, one arm around the hose, the other skimming her through the water as though it was the most natural action in the world. Shan's arms are clamped around the hose, and his toes leave the seafloor. He's floating for the first time ever, and it's the most dire, abysmal chaos he could imagine, hugging the hose and whispering to it.
Don't you dare let me go!
He hauls himself along until he's safely back on the reef.
Turn on the pump!
The first suck of sand shocks Jess, and she loses grip on the hose. She swims after it and wrestles it down, ensuring that it's sucked itself to the seafloor. The rumble of the sand speeding through the hose and flying onto the reef shakes her brain. It's such an all-encompassing physical task that she can't even think her usual obsessive thoughts of guilt or regret. She can't even worry about trying to live up to Grover Sachs's expectations. She feels bliss in the labor. She feels free.
Huh. She can manage with the dredging.
Shan concedes as the sand she sucks sprays by him to the east quadrant, filling in a section of reef.
This will take longer than it would take with a raft, but she's right. Maybe it will be possible to continue my work.
Jess waves to him, and he turns off the engine.
I'm thirsty.
He marvels as she swims back to shore in long, elegant strokes. He can't begin to understand how they keep her from sinking. Swimming seems as impossible to him as flight. Back on land, she lies next to him. breathing fast, her heart pounding in her chest. The neck of her shirt is stretched, so Zushan can see the flesh over her heart. Scars, a series of them that rise above the skin like coral above the low tide. Under his breath, he counts them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
He stops himself, turns away. He should not look at her like this. His eyes roaming her body, studying it like a map. Unless she wants him to. After all, it was her choice to lie next to him when he was sitting there minding his business. Does she trust him, he wonders, or want him? Or is she setting herself like a trap?
I'll help you with the dredging, but you'll have to teach me how to use the desalinator. That's the deal.
Zushan gathers his wits about him. He needs to be smart around her, needs to stay clear-headed and sharp.
I can't agree to that. The desalinator is my only advantage. You're going to have to offer more.
And what would you like?
The gun.
The gun is my only advantage.
The gun is the only thing I want.
He wants more than the gun. Jess knows it, and she feels the power shift back to her. This game they're playing, him, then her, him, her, she likes it. There's energy to their connection. It feels propulsive, even though they remain trapped, both of them on this reef and him in his body. She knows what he wants. He wants her. He can't help it. He's a man, and men are slaves to their urges.
If I was a man, I'd castrate myself.
She raises herself on her elbows, looking at him from a higher view, her eyes roaming his body. Zushan hasn't been looked at like that since Sammy. He needs to gather himself, but it's hard. Jess is looking down on him, her head blocking what's left of the sun. It's a trick of perspective, but to Zushan in that moment, she looks powerful enough to pluck the sun from the sky and do what she wants with it. Extinguish its heat in the sea, swallow it like a pill.
Do you think it's fate? You and me ending up here together?
He regrets the question as it passes his lips, and he holds his breath, wishes for one of two wishes: to take the question back or for an answer that will soothe him. Jess rolls her eyes, and he thinks she's judging him for his stupidity, his naivety, his unwavering deference to all the wrong things. Hot shame flushes his complexion. He hates her, and he hates himself because he wants her. She's so beautiful in the waning light. Jess sees the change in him, knows she has to pacify him before it's too late.
I'm sorry. It's nothing you said. It's just been a long, difficult day, and I'm just so tired.
She puts her hand on his shoulder, and electricity jolts him. It's been so long since he's been touched by a woman. She rolled up her pants earlier because it was hot, or because she wanted him to notice the smooth skin of her thigh, the muscle lean and inscribed with a tattoo of a name he knows from all those American delegations, Smith. It's the name of her boyfriend, probably, but he's not here on this reef. Zushan is here. Zushan, who cannot think of his mission to get home to his daughter anymore, of his duty to the party, of his re-education, who can only think about sinking into this woman and making a rut in the sand with their bodies. He reaches for her, kisses her, fumbles around with his crab-like hands, just pushes him away.
Get the fuck off of me!
She pulls her gun. Her face is red, eyes are bulging. He never thought she would use the gun against him, but he knows now that she will.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll give you the water. I'll show you how to operate the desalinator.
He runs to the machine, waves to her to make sure she's watching him, pulls the rubber tube from the sand where he's hidden it, points at it, fixes it to the spout, and flips the switch. The cup fills, and he brings it to her, offers it like alms. Jess drags her heel through the sand, drawing a line between them.
You'll stay on that side. You'll stay away from me.
I misunderstood. I'm sorry. Please take this.
He reaches the water out to her, but She's looking at him with disgust, like his wife looked at him in the end.
I didn't mean... I'll give you whatever you want.
You have nothing.
You're right. I have nothing. I am nothing. I don't exist.
Then he remembers. He fumbles in his pocket. Lucky's bullet. He holds it up for her to see.
Where did you get that? Give it to me.
He's never seen her so desperate. She must need this bullet, he reasons. The barrel of her gun must be empty. He holds the bullet between his eyes.
You want this?
Give it to me.
Of course, she isn't a spy for the party. And he's ashamed for ever thinking she was, even for that brief moment. Her body language betrays her. Her lip is trembling. Her hands. China would never stoop to engage so unconvincing a liar. China would never point an unloaded gun.
Shoot me, and it's yours.
She steadies the gun.
I will shoot you.
Of course you will. You're American. Unless you don't have any bullets at all? Unless that gun is an empty threat?
A flash of fear in Jess's eyes, and she reacts, kicking Shan hard in the groin.
Oh!
The blinding sting. It curls him into a ball. The pain. He can't speak. He can barely breathe. He sees stars. He sees stars every night here, but not like this. Not with his eyes closed. She throws herself on top of him, wrestles him, digs in his pocket for the bullet. But he gets to it first, even through the pain, and he swallows it. One big gulp, and the bullet slides down his throat. Just one more horrible action he's had to take to survive. Jess backs off. She cannot believe what she just saw. This man is so desperate. He will do anything, which means she'll need to do anything too.